Hi, my name is Daniel and these are my ServiceNow Bytes. In this particular video, I will show you how you can use the new ServiceNow Studio to work with global applications. ServiceNow Studio is our newest user experience for developers and administrators of a ServiceNow platform, bringing all the builders and developer tools into one front end. So it combines the legacy ServiceNow Studio as well as App Engine Studio, Workflow Studio, and a few other things just in one user interface, which is really great, and it boasts a lot of features that neither of the other tools provide. As of the shooting of this video, which is the Zurich Store 2 release in November 2025, ServiceNow Studio is at feature parity with App Engine Studio and the Legacy Studio. So actually, there's not really a need for you to use any of the old tools. You can do anything from ServiceNow Studio. However, one question came up lately with one of my customers: how to work with global applications within ServiceNow Studio. And I thought, yeah, it might actually not be as obvious. So let's make a short video about that. Without further ado, let's get into ServiceNow Studio. Here you can see ServiceNow Studio on one of my demo instances. This is kind of how ServiceNow Studio opens. You can see all the recently opened files that you've been working with. You can see the recently opened applications that you've been working with, a bunch of resources. And I think the most important part is on the left-hand side, the navigator. By default, it shows you a list of applications, custom scope applications that are on your particular instance. You have a pretty set filter for custom applications. You can change that filter to see store applications or even all applications that you get on the platform. So it's very easy to navigate and find stuff that is within a scoped application. Outside scoped applications, you can't find that in here. Let's say you're working within the incident application ServiceNow, which is global, and you need to modify a business rule within incident. How can I get to that business rule? And how can I track my changes doing to that business rule, maybe pushing it up the stack through a pipeline? So there are actually two ways to get to your business rule. Let's show you both of them. Our first option is on the left-hand side, the toolbar, where we have a couple of options to navigate metadata files on the ServiceNow platform. One is a search, create new files, or we have the different displays for the navigator here. The first one is by application. That's what we see right now, different application scopes. The second one is file categories, showing all metadata files, all artifacts on the platform, categorized similarly like within a scoped app, but just for anything on the platform. Let's say we are working in the incident application and we need to modify a particular business rule to match our business requirements, right? So we can use this navigation here to drill down into, say, server development as a business rule runs on server side. We see the business rules here and other things. So let's open business rules, and you get a list of all the business rules here in the navigator, which is still a list of 8,000 records, so quite a lot of things. You can start filtering it down by like info message, and you can find stuff and get to the one that you actually need. Or the other path you can use, you can say open list, and you will get a tabbed list view of all the business rules in the platform. And as with any table on ServiceNow, you can just use classical show matching, exclude matching, filtering records. Let's say we need something on the incident table from global scope. There is one called add info message for incident closer. That's the one I want to change. So I open that one up and we get the classic business rule screen as we know it. Here we go. The screen is here and I can start doing my modification. Now I do see on the bottom in the status bar which update set I'm actually in. So you can see we're currently working in the default update set, something I should not do, obviously, right? So you can create new update sets, view the update set and things like that. This is all great. How can we get the change that we do here tagged to an application, a global application? So we could use source control or we could use application repository to deploy that change. So for this one, let's start with creating an application first. We go here, create application, get the standard application screen that you know, and I would say incident for me because it's customized for me or my customer, whatever you want to call that. I define this as a global application as I would have done it in the old Legacy Studio. Click continue. We don't need any roles for that. We wait a few seconds and here we got that file created. That's all that we need. We can go actually to a few app details. App details screen, obviously, it's an empty application right now. There's nothing in here. So if I now go back to my business rule, which I handily have still open in the other tab, I can go here to the context menu and say move this file to an application. And I can start searching for my incident for me and move that file into it. Now, move is not a physical move. It is the feature that in Legacy Studio is called claim file or attach file. So all it does actually is setting that application tag up here saying I belong to the incident for me application. And now I can modify and track my changes either into a application repository deployment, or I could still use an update set. So let's do that for a second. I create a new update set here, inc br change 1, create a new update set that has been applied and is my active update set. And let's do a quick change here. Obviously, as part of the demo, adding a comment, save that. And now we have that change tracked in the update set. I can actually view my update set from here, being in here, that's great. And that's where you can tie in now into your deployment processes. One classical thing you might do is you complete your update set, you save that. And if you have already adopted ReleaseOps, you can see here the button Promote Update Set. If you haven't, I actually recommend you watch the video of my friend John Lind as he demos ReleaseOps. I'll put the link up here on the left-hand side so you can check it out. Very useful new feature, also came out with Zurich release. Besides the update set, we can also still go back to our custom application screen, just refresh that. And if we go to all, we can actually see our business rule being mentioned in here. So we see the business rule is tagged or claimed by this application. And from here, we have all the usual features like linking to source control, publishing it to the deployments pipeline. So all the features that we need are available from within ServiceNow Studio. No need for me to jump out to go to any other places. Now you've seen how we find that incident business rule using the file explorer, but there's another way you can use, and I'll see that as a little quick and handy tip that is not that obvious. You can use the search feature, and obviously I could search here for the business rule by name, but I can also do a good old trick that every ServiceNow old-timer knows. I put in a table, sys_script, which is the table where we have all our business rules and scripts, and just put in .list like you would do in the good old navigator. Type enter, and it opens in a brand new tab, exactly what you'd expect in tabular form. Might take a moment to load, but here we go, and you get the list of all the business rules, 8,200 records, and you can start searching as you would do on a classic UI, by global, by incident. There you go, and go forward, and here we have our business rule. Very handy, very quick, and it works actually with any table, even with data table. If you need some test data, incident.list, there you go, enter, and there you go, we got a list of incidents. Isn't that handy? Right, that's my demo of how you work with global applications within ServiceNow Studio. I hope you learned something and found it helpful. I'd be interested to see how you use it or what you would miss. Please put that down in the comments below. And as a further video to watch, I would actually recommend my friend's Andrew Barnes video. He just recorded that, I think, a week ago for Community Week about the future of ServiceNow Studio. Again, I'll put that up here on the left-hand side for you to check out. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.